When I was maybe about 4 or 5 years old, I wanted to be a garbage man. And then shortly thereafter, I wanted to, wanted to do the cool jobs, firefighter, policeman, etc. And then as I grew up, things changed a little bit, and the different influences. But yeah, then I decided maybe I wanted to be a doctor. Maybe a little bit of pressure from the parents, but that's what I went to school for after. I'm a detective in the Criminal Investigations Office for York Regional Police. The thoughts started coming into my mind probably around first, maybe second year, shortly after starting university. But the thought really kind of came into a tangible plan probably in about fourth year, when I really started doing some research and trying to find out how I could apply the testing I needed to do and eventually apply to the police service. So I vividly remember, it was probably in about third year, and I had a conversation with my uncle. He's like, "Hey, how's school going?" I said, "It's good." He's like, "So you're gonna apply to medical school?" I said, "I don't know, maybe." He's like, "Well, why the second thoughts?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know if I really want to do this. I've kind of been thinking about being a police officer." And he asked me, "Do your parents know?" I said, not yet, because I don't know how they're gonna take it. And we both kind of felt that they probably wouldn't take it very well. And he said to me, he goes, "Just remember that it's not about becoming a doctor or dentist or lawyer or an engineer. Whatever it is that you want to do it, but just be the best at it." And that's I took that to heart, and I said, I want to be a police officer. So my goal is I'm going to be a police officer, and I'm going to be the best police officer I can. Because no matter what, you're going to be successful as long as you are doing something that you love. Be it financially successful, be it success in other ways. It's as long as you're doing what you love, the rest is just going to fall into place for you. I'd say one of the biggest roadblocks was pressure from the parents and pressure from friends. When I left high school and decided I was going to apply to Western for the medical science program, the undergraduate medical science program, there was a lot of pressure from my parents. My son's going to be a doctor. All my friends around me, "Oh, she's going to be a doctor," and that, as much as that was comforting to know I had support, in fact, that truly was a roadblock, because it really made me narrow my focus when I was in school, really focusing on the sciences, put all my time and effort into maybe applying to medical school and things, kind of going down that path. But it really closed down a lot of the different options that were out there for me. So that was certainly a huge roadblock, a lot of pressure. To not deviate from the plan. And when I use quotes, the plan, I'm referring to the plan my parents had, which was for me to become a doctor and go into med school. So that was certainly a huge roadblock. Another roadblock was not really knowing what the options were or what my options were. I remember walking through the UCC, and they had the different booths set up and stuff like that, and they would have dentistry there. They would have UWO medicine, the faculty of law, teacher, the education program at Western. But that was really it. It was really a promotion of the professional programs that the different schools offered. But that's only a small segment of what the career opportunities are outside of the professional schools and things like that. So that was a bit of a roadblock. There was a bit of I didn't have all the information I needed to be able to really make a decision at that time. It wasn't until I kind of took the initiative and really started researching into to a profession that I wanted to do, which was policing, and that's how I eventually got to where I am. It's interesting because it's as if the core values that really push me or motivate me have never really changed. Right since I was a young child, it was something that I wanted to help people. That was the be all and end all. No matter what I did at the end of the day, it was to be someone that helps and helps people in the community. So at first, maybe when I was 4, that was being a garbage man by helping people pick up their garbage. But as I went through high school and then talking to my parents, they said, "Well, you want to help people, go be a doctor." And then as I continued to progress through my university career, things changed. I could still help the community and help people by becoming a police officer. But also another motivating thing to kind of bring me towards policing was that I always wanted to work in a fast-paced environment. I wanted to continuously learn and really not have a dull day ever. just kind of fast paced, everything's changing, always learning, always moving, that sort of thing. And that brought me to setting my application to YRP. I didn't have many friends. Actually, I didn't have any friends that were connected to the policing field. Nobody in my family was attached to the policing field. So I really had nobody to go to for resources. So I took it upon myself. I knew that was something I wanted to do. So I started going online. I started researching all the different police services, went on the different community blogs about people wanting to be police officers, and kind of blogging or messaging with other folks as to the ones that are trying to get into the field, the different challenges they had. Sent a few emails off to different services as to what I would need, what I would want, the different certifications I would need, or the testing and things like that. So it was a lot of research that I took upon myself to do, and then figured out how to do it. The skill that I gained from Western was learning how to learn. The analytical skills, the research skills, all those things. Those are all skills that you take in. So it's not the specifics of microbiology or immunology, but it's learning how to learn, and then you apply that in your everyday life. And really, much of my success is to being able to learn. Because every day is a new experience, and you got to learn from those experiences. And in policing, I'd have to say that I don't think I've gone more than 2 months without having to take a new course or learn a new tactic or learn a new technique, and things like that, because it's always changing. So learning how to learn, certainly the biggest takeaway for me from university. When applying to university, certainly very supportive, especially of my decision initially to do an undergraduate medical science degree. Very supportive throughout my undergrad. And at first, when I kind of dropped the bombshell, probably in about 4th year, saying, hey folks, I'm going to finish up, but then I'm applying to different police services. They were supportive in that they were like, okay, but you could tell they weren't overly happy initially, because I kind of deviated from the plan. And when I say the plan was, when I was younger, it's like, okay, you have a few options, all right? You got to pick. Do you want to be a lawyer? Do you want to be a doctor? Or do you want to be a dentist? Pick one of the three and then go for it. So when I kind of dropped the bombshell to deviate from the plan, it was a little tough on them, and I could tell. But I mean, they were always there for me. I mean, they may not have been happy initially, but they were certainly there for me. Going through basic training with the police service certainly it was a tough and trying time. But no, my parents were there for me. Was great. But I remember at the March Pass, and the March Pass is a ceremony that when you finish your basic training, all police officers from Ontario would finish this training. We do a big ceremony where we all are in our number one fancy dress, and then we all kind of our fancy uniforms, and we kind of do a walk around. And I remember looking over at my dad, and it was almost as if he was holding back some tears because he was so proud of that moment. And ever since then, I mean, my parents could not be any more proud of me. They're ecstatic that I'm a police officer. They're proud to tell their friends. They're proud to tell them the success that I've had in this field and everything that I do. So. You know what, the big thing? Talk to people. A lot of times we go through these booths, we kind of go to family and friends, but really branch out. If there's a career that you're thinking about, don't be hesitant to just stop in and say, hey, can I ask you a few questions about the profession? I'll be honest with you, we have people coming into the station all the time saying, hey, look, I'm in university right now and I really want to be a police officer. What can you tell me about it? Go out, do your research, and follow your dream, and do what you want to do. Because at the end of the day, that's what's important, right? Because it's not that you really don't want to be in a career or pick a profession that after the first 5 years, the novelty wears off and you're not happy. You want to pick something that you truly are driven to do, and you're motivated to get up and go to work with a smile on your face for the next 30, 40, however long you choose to work. So really just do what you want to do and what you love to do.